So one of the most important components, if not the most important component to almost every retirement plan, is Social Security. And one of the questions I receive more than almost any other about Social Security is, when should I take Social Security? Should I take it as quickly as I can at age 62 and receive a reduced benefit? Should I take it at my full retirement age, which is 66 or 67? Or should I wait until age 70? So in this video, I'm going to give you the tools you'll need to begin thinking through that question and try to put some actual numbers around this question so that you can have, I think that'll make it a little bit easier to wrap your head around. And then I'll also just give you some things to think through that I think will help you answer this question. But before we do, my name's Kevin Lum. I'm a certified financial planner based in Los Angeles, and this has been a long day, so I may drink some coffee during the middle of this video. Before we start looking at more specific numbers, let's just do a little bit of background. As most of you know, you can begin claiming Social Security at age 62, or you can delay it up till age 70. And for each year you delay receiving Social Security, you'll receive about an 8% increase in the amount you receive. The full retirement age, when you receive 100% of your PIA, which is your primary insurance amount, the government loves acronyms. Your FRA is your full retirement age, which is 66 or 67, depending on when you're born. At your FRA, you will receive your PIA, your primary insurance amount, 100% of it. If you take Social Security at age 62, you're going to receive about 70% of your primary insurance amount. If you wait till age 70, you'll receive around 124% of your primary insurance amount. If you wait longer than age 70, there's no additional increase. So really, you're looking at, should I take it at age 62, at full retirement age, or should I wait till age 70? Like I said, it adjusts by about 8% per year. But let's look at some actual numbers. And so if you go to the Social Security Administration, you can download a report that's going to show what your estimated PIA is going to be at your full retirement age, but you'll also see how much you'll receive at age 62, age 63, 64, all the way up until age 70. It's got to look something like this. So I've got a chart here that kind of walks through what those numbers are. So let's look at this chart. So you'll see here at age 62, you'll receive around $2,200 a month, whereas if you wait till age 70, you'll receive around $4,200 a month. That's a significant monthly difference. So it's hard to decide, right? Do I want to take $2,200 a month today, or do I want to wait all the way until age 70 to start claiming this benefit? And there's no single right answer. I wish I could tell you that there was some magic wand or computer formula that's going to answer that question for you, but there's really not. But what can be helpful is to understand the break-even point. So if you start receiving your benefit at age 62, at age 72, you will have received more money than if you had waited to receive your benefit at age 66 or age 67. But then, as you begin to move past age 72, that begins to flip. And so by age 82, which is 10 years later, you'll have received the most money if you'd waited till age 70, the second most if you'd waited till age 66 or your full retirement age, and you'd receive the least amount of money if you'd waited till, or if you'd started claiming at age 62. And that number just continues to grow. If you live till age 92, that differential gets much larger. So I've got a graph here. I don't know if this graph is very helpful that tries to show you where exactly those break-even points are. But the break-even point for easy math is somewhere between age 78 and 82, depending on when you take your retirement benefit. And this number can be quite large depending on how long you live. So if you live till age 92, you would receive around $750,000. These aren't exact numbers, but based on the numbers I'm using here, you would receive about $750,000 in retirement benefit by the age of 92 if you'd start taking it at age 62. Whereas if you'd waited until age 70, you would receive over $1 million. So that's almost 25% more, almost $250,000 more over the life of your retirement. And so some of the things you need to think about as you're trying to decide when should I take my Social Security payment is, first and foremost, like, if I'm going to retire, if I can't keep working, so that's the first thing you need to think about is, can I continue to work? And some of you can't physically continue to work. And for others of you, you can't mentally continue to work. So the first question is, can I continue to work? And if the answer is no, the next question you need to ask yourself is, can I make ends meet if I delay receiving Social Security? Do I have a pension? Maybe do I have enough money in my 401k or my IRAs that I can spend down some of that money early on? which honestly, there's an entire strategy that would say you should delay receiving your Social Security so you have a very low income. So you can maybe do Roth conversions early in retirement, maybe pull some money out of a taxable account. One thing that a lot of people don't realize is if you are married, and you can pull out almost $100,000 a year in long-term capital gains tax-free from a taxable account, assuming you don't have any other income coming in. And so if you delay receiving Social Security, you can pull some money, some profits out of your taxable account, your long-term capital gains, and not pay any taxes on that potentially. So that's one of the things you need to think about is like, are there other revenue streams that I can begin to pull on that would allow me to delay Social Security? And there's some really interesting tax implications that you can think through. And then the other piece is Roth conversions, right? When you do a Roth conversion, so you can take your money in your 401k and you can convert it to a Roth, so you don't have to do required minimum distributions and potentially save a significant amount of money in taxes during retirement. You want to do that Roth conversion at the lowest tax bracket possible. And so if you can wait until later to claim Social Security, it can help keep you in a lower tax bracket. So those are some of the things you might want to think about just from a very practical level. Can I keep working? If you can't keep working, can I make this work financially? And the other question is, right, it might make sense for you to go ahead, even if you could keep working, it might make sense for you to go ahead and retire so that you can take some money out of your taxable account, or so you can begin doing some Roth conversions in a much lower tax bracket. You just have to run the numbers and see what would work there. But the other question you need to ask is, what's your health like? If you're in poor health, you probably want to retire sooner rather than later. And the same thing goes for life expectancy. If you have a terminal illness or you have something in your family history, heart disease or whatever, where people in your family just don't have a long life expectancy, then you probably want to go ahead and take your Social Security payment earlier rather than later, because as you see, you have to live till around age 80 before you even break even, and you want to take that money in years when you can be more active. So another thing to think about is spousal benefits, right? If you have a married couple, one of the spouses might actually have a lower amount of money that they're going to receive in retirement. So maybe go ahead and take that first and then delay and cobble that together with 401k money or maybe some pension or money from your taxable account, or somehow make those numbers work, and then delay receiving the higher benefit until age 70 to really maximize that amount of money. So those are just some of the things you want to think about. But before you make any decisions, you want to go to the Social Security Administration and get a copy of your Social Security report, get a copy of your spouse's Social Security report, because those numbers are really going to be a key part of developing your financial plan and figuring out, are you going to be able to afford retirement? And so for some people, when they get those reports, they realize, actually, we're in pretty good shape. We can cover most of our fixed expenses, particularly if your house is paid off, you don't have a lot of overhead, you might be fine. And so then that information may help you decide, you know what, I want to take a little more risk with my equity portfolio so that I can have maybe more of a nest egg to leave to future generations. So the first place you want to start before you make any of these calculations is reach out to the Social Security Administration. They have a fairly decent website for a government website. Download your report. It's going to give you all these numbers. It's going to tell you what your primary insurance amount should be at full retirement age. It's going to tell you how much you should receive at age 62, how much you'll receive at age 70. And so that will put some really concrete numbers around these decisions for you. And then you can map it out and decide, should we delay taking Social Security? Can we work longer? Or do we want to go ahead at age 62, take the money and run? There's not a perfect decision. And it's not always a decision that can be calculated in a spreadsheet. A lot of it just depends on what you value and what's important to you and your health and 100 other considerations. If this content was helpful to you, if you do me a favor and just click that like button, ding the bell, subscribe, leave a comment below. I read every comment. I try to respond to them. All those things help the YouTube algorithms know that this content is worth watching. But the other thing is actually when you leave comments, it's really helpful to me as well. When I go to create content, I know the questions that or it's something I just did not cover, I missed completely, or I know what actually is resonating with people. And the goal of this channel, I said this before, but the goal of this channel is really to help 1 million people retire without worry. We want to provide free retirement education to as many people as possible. And if you have a specific question or something you want to work on specifically, you can always feel free to reach out to me. You can just go to foundryfinancial.org and schedule a call.